Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Market Monday. Today we have a painty kit. These are things that you can use in mark making on your jelly plate or your mixed media paintings and just whatever you decide that you can do with them. But so this is the kit. So there are 3 of these mesh heavy plastic, and I say heavy plastic, but this one is much more solid or heavy than, there are 3 of those, and there are 2 of these in different colors. And so this is a lot thinner of a plastic. So there are 2 of these that are the thinner plastic and then 3 of these that are the heavier plastic. And what I use these for is I slide them onto a paper towel roll and then roll them across my jelly plate or roll them across my paint or ink pad and then roll them on my paper. And they make very cool marks. I really like those. So there's those 5. And then there are some of these mesh nets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like there are 10 of these mesh ovals. And again, these ones you can like put paint through them. You can put them on your jelly plate to make marks, or you can just use them for any kind of a project that you would like to. They're really kind of cool. I haven't played with them much yet because they're kind of new to the recycle store. And all of these things come from a recycle store. Or factories have these cutoffs and they send them to the recycle store, and then they use the money for a nonprofit to help kids with art. So that's where I get these things, and I use them in my crafting all of the time. So there are 100 of these solid plastic little ovals, and they are a hard plastic. And size-wise, let me see. I never think to grab my ruler. Size-wise, they are about 1 3/4 inches long by, start at the 1 inch mark, about 3/4 of an inch wide. I use these. I just drill a hole in the top with my Dremel. You can also just, use something to get a hole in the top. Even I've punched them before. They're very hard. You have to have a heavy punch, but they do punch also. And I put a hole in there with a jump ring. I color them with permanent markers or alcohol ink because this is a hard, shiny plastic. A regular watercolor or acrylic doesn't stick very well, but your permanent inks like alcohol ink or permanent markers work really great. And then I kind of make them into little dangles, or I hang them. I do have a bunch hanging on my purse, on my keychain, that type of thing. So these are little circles, and they are made of like foam rubber and sticky on the back. And they are between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch wide. Now these ones I stick onto cardboard in different configurations to make like my own homemade stamp. And here are some more. Now these ones are a different texture on the foam rubber. Those ones look very smooth. And these ones have a little bit of texture to them. I don't know if you can see that or not. And those are 1 inch wide. So there are some of those. And then these ones also, these are foam. And they are sticky on the back. So these are sticky on the back also. And you just take the sticky off, stick them onto something, and again, you put them in your own configuration. You can cut them into different shapes before you put them down. And this one is, looks like just over 3/4 of an inch, maybe about 7/8. So there's a baggie full of those. And then we have some sponges for paint spreading. Let's see, what do we have here? 4, 8, 12, 14 of those little sponges, and they are a regular type sponge, so you can use them to spread your ink. I use them to on alcohol ink sometimes, or no, my distress inks or regular inks that I want to spread around. You can use them to spread paint, whatever you think you want to use those for. I have these mini paint spreaders. Now these are like cutoffs of some type of vinyl. This one says on the back what these are. This is a wall base, and so this is probably a smaller wall base. But what I use these for is they have a nice rounded edge right here. And so I use them to spread paint. I use them to spread glue. And I also use them to burnish down something that I've glued on, like if I've glued a whole page. I use this to burnish that down and to make it nice and flat. It works really well, and with that nice rounded edge, and being that it's kind of rubbery, you know, I don't find that it messes up my paper. And it's rounded on this end also. So I use both ends. I try and use one end to spread the glue and use the other end to burnish it down. I tend to like forget and just keep using the wrong end, but they work really nice. I love these and I use them all the time. So there's two of the larger ones, and then there's two of the little mini ones. Then there are a couple of 3 sheets of honeycomb. Now, these are all different, a little bit of different sizes, but you'll get 3 little sheets of this. And these are little honeycombs. They're sticky on the back, so you just take them off and, again, stick them to a piece of cardboard and then use them for a stamp. Use them to make marks on your jelly plate. I love the honeycombs. Those are really cool. I really love all the recycle stuff just because it's different. There are some little bits of the like non-stick pads or whatever. And this is just how they come. They come like this at the recycle store. I have no idea what the factory does with them, but they have a little bit of a different pattern to them. So the gray one seems to be a little bigger than the black one, and then the green one has got kind of a different texture to it. So there's a few of those to make marks on your jelly plate, or pick up some paint and make marks. They make great background marks. There are 6 of the little circles that, again, they're sticky on the back. So you take them off, put them on your cardboard. They make great stamps. You can also like cut them in half and use them like as quotation marks. You don't have to use these things to paint with. You can also use these things on your mixed media projects. They make great dimension on your projects. So then we have this foam pad here, and really what I use these for, not sure why I put it in this kit, but what I use these for usually is shaping paper. So if you cut a flower and you want to shape it, you just put it on there and then press on it with your ball tool, and it shapes it up really nice. This is a very nice foam. It also works well to put under something if you've got a rough surface, to put this underneath what you're stamping on and then stamp on top of it, because it kind of presses into that softness, and it gives you a nice stamp. And then finally, we have 3 of these. These are double-sided sticky. And this is 1 3/4 of an inch. So there are 3 of those, and I'll show you in just a second what I do with them. There are 2 of these circles. Those are about 3 3/4. And then we have these rectangle ones that are about 3 3/4 by 5. And there are 2 of those. So there are 2 of those, 2 of those, and 3 of those. And what I use those for is I take off the sticky on one side and stick it to cardboard. Then I take off the sticky on the top side, and then I start putting fun foam, string, whatever type of, you want to make sure whatever you're putting on here is all the same height, because I use them for stamps. And if you're going to make a stamp, it all needs to be the same height, or only parts of it will touch. But so here is what I did with these little ones. And so this is just fun foam that I just put on there, put it on some cardboard. I put a little bit of masking tape on the back. And if you watch any of my homemade stamp videos, I'll show you how to put the little butterflies on there, which is what you hold on to. But then you have this nice area to stamp. I also take some baby powder, any kind of talcum powder, and put it in there, or even cornstarch, brush it on with a brush, so that once after I'm all done making my stamp, then I put a little bit of powder so that any of the white parts that are showing that would be sticky are no longer sticky. So that's what I made with the little ones. Here is a circle line stamp. I like to make these. They're fun to put in, especially a whimsical journal. And then you can write all the way around the lines, or it's just a background stamp, but I like to do them to write on. That's what I did with this circle. And then with the larger one, I went ahead and made this stamp, and again, stuck it on heavy cardboard, and then started peeling back the top. And I only peel it back part way. Put all your fun foam on there. When you're not working on it, put the top back over, put the protection sheet back over the top, just to keep it from getting too dusty. And you don't want to get your oils and dust on the part you're not working on. You don't want your hand to stick on there when you're trying to put the little pieces on. So I just do it in little sections as I go until I get all the way done. Once I get all my fun foam on there, then I put a little bit of some sort of powder or baking powder, or not baking powder, cornstarch in there with a brush, and you're good to go. You have your own stamp. I love to make these kind of stamps. And when you make your own stamps, they're different than everybody else. So that's what's in this kit. There are the little bit of double-sided sticky to make some of your own stamps, and all of these other different things to make marks and to move your paint around, or your glue, or whatever you're working with. But if you are interested in this kit, they are $20, and that is PayPal. The instructions will be in the description below. Send me an email, not a response to this video. Just send me an email that lets me know you want one. I will let you know if I have any left or not. If I do, at that point, you can pay. And I send the kits out on Thursday or Friday. So again, that's $20. That does include the shipping. And if you're interested, send me an email. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you. And I hope that each and every one of you has an outstanding day. Bye-bye.